You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about Angel Reese. It looks like everything has come to a head, and when one of the biggest sports media entities in the country, The Athletic, which is now owned by the New York Times, comes out and makes this statement, well, maybe this is exactly what we all thought. Angel Reese may have thrown her teammates under the bus, ran the bus over them, and then proceeded to just quit and protest on the team. And I'm not saying that. I'm not suggesting that. The sports media is now suggesting that. The Athletic is now suggesting that Angel Reese may be injured, or maybe she has just stopped playing for the Chicago Sky out of protest. You know, layman's terms says, well, maybe she just quit on her squad for what a lot of people believe is the third different squad in a row. Last year's squad, many people thought that she just decided to drag up. The Unrivaled, many people was like, oh, just not, and not, even if she didn't quit, she didn't bother to show up for the championship game to support her teammates. Guys, you seeing a pattern yet? And then now, this is Sabrina Merchant. God help you once the Angel Reese fans see this article, because good Lord, she can do no wrong. The Chicago Sky ended the 2024 season outside of the playoffs for the first time in 6 seasons, but at least it was with hope that they had found their next franchise cornerstone. Angel Reese was an immediate star off the court and ended her rookie season as an all-star and the WNBA single-season leader in rebounds, the only player in league history to average at least 12 per game. A year later, not only have the Sky failed to progress as a team and sit outside of the playoffs again, but they have also strained their relationship with Reese in the process. Their one certainty for the future is no more. When Reese expressed her frustrations with the state of the franchise to the Chicago Tribune, the organization suspended her for a half a game for, quote, statements detrimental to the team, after she publicly apologized to her teammates. Reese has not played since the suspension and ruled out with a back injury that cost her 7 games in July. She is listed as questionable for the Sky's season finale on Thursday, which will end a disappointing 30-plus loss season. It is possible, this is the key, it is possible Reese simply re-aggravated an existing injury. It's also possible that Reese has played her last game for Chicago and is ending the season in silent protest from the bench before requesting a trade in the offseason, even if there is no real precedent for WNBA players asking out this early in their careers. The Sky chose to side with other players on the roster over Reese, none of whom are under contract beyond this season. So think about that. Chicago was like, you know what? We're willing to let you, we're willing to hold you responsible and punish you, even though none of those players are under contract. And they probably knew this is going to spark her probably wanting out of town, which leads me to think maybe the Chicago Sky was wanting her to want out of town. Maybe that should tell people something. Even if Chicago leadership felt that the move was necessary to protect the team's culture, it appears to have alienated Reese and simultaneously diminished her trade value. Quote, I'm not settling for the same shit we did this year, Reese told the Tribune. We have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's non-negotiable for me. She added, we can't settle for what we have this year. Again, if she'd have said a lot of this stuff without actually bringing up players and just talking about we need to be great next year, blah, 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 and that's non-negotiable, I'd be all right with all that. The moment you mention your players, that they're not good enough, they're not great enough, that's a problem. Quote, the best advice I could ever receive was to keep things in-house. Candace Parker, who played 2 seasons in Chicago, said on Post Moves podcast, you can yell, scream, cuss, do all the things in between these walls, but you cannot bring it out. Once that happens, it's hard to gain trust back. If the relationship cannot be salvaged, Reese has 2 years left on her rookie contract before becoming a restricted free agent. Although multiple general managers expressed hesitation about drafting Reese out of LSU, I did not know that. Multiple general managers expressed hesitation about drafting Reese out of LSU. Her production through 2 seasons alleviates some of those concerns. There were general managers that thought she wasn't worth drafting coming out to begin with. And the media preached to us about how great she was? Man. Wow. Her skill set would make sense in Connecticut or Dallas, 2 franchises that were eliminated from the playoffs this season. Or she could be a long-term play for Seattle, Atlanta, or expansion teams Portland and Toronto. That means the Sky may need to move forward without their best player and a lack of assets after they mortgage the future to acquire Reese and build around her. So they're basically saying, hey, look, we gave up all this and we're still potentially willing to walk away from her. Wow. It's officially a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that there were general managers that had hesitations about drafting her out of LSU. Once again, Haley Van Lith. She couldn't stand LSU, left to go to TCU. Now she's on the team. Still can't figure that one out. I still can't figure out them drafting her like that. I mean, she looked so damn, she was doing that fake smile like, oh, yay. I got drafted here. Yay. Question mark. Wow. May have quit in silent protest. Yikes. Tell me what you think. Looks like Angel's on her way out. She's burning the building down on the way out. That's a play on words, not literally. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.